All right, let me just go ahead and say right away, pardon any extra noises you may hear in the background. We're having some remodeling done at the house. That being said, we are here on our second headset that we're going to be reviewing when it comes to Bluetooth. And this is going to be the ROG CETRA True Wireless. It's apparently by ASUS, which I never thought I would be doing a ASUS type headset review. They make great motherboards. I've had no issues with any of their stuff and when it comes to inside computers. So this is a new thing for me, like outside the computer. So we're going to look at this guy and see what it's all about. All right, so the CETRA True Wireless are made by ASUS, as I mentioned before. These are actually Bluetooth 5.0 and above, just like the other ones that we're going to be reviewing. And these are low latency for gaming and have extensive battery lives, various ranges from 20 to 37 plus hours on all the Bluetooth that we're doing. This one says it has 27. I'll test it and see if that's true. There's a bunch of wireless charging that can actually be done. This is the first one that said that. And this is the first headset that we're looking at that actually says it is IPX4 splash proof water resistance for added protection. So think of it as you can use these in the gym and running and stuff, and they should be fine. So we're going to open up this box, see what comes inside, and then we'll go from there. The other set, you have to like cut this little guy off here, and it slides out. We're just going to cut this guy here and here. But this one has a little tab, so it should be slightly easier than the last one we did. Oh, yeah, that's way easier. Way easier. All right. So these ones I got in white. Technically, they have white and black, and these ones actually were on sale for a lot less and made it right within the range of everything else. Unlike some of the other ones that run over 100 and stuff, this was down near the 70 mark, I guess just because it's white. I don't mind white. I've had a white setup before, and it was fairly nice. All right, so what you get in the box, you get this cool little headset here, this case, and these, unlike the others, are a little flip-up case, which is kind of neat. This little headset here is a nice little shape, much like the others, and I'm assuming we're going to check that these are replaceable and can come out and do other and put in other ones to fit your ear. The charging is actually here on the side instead of on the bottom like most, which I'm assuming lets them use a little bit shorter of a stem. So far, the razors we looked at before had a much longer stem, and but I really like this case. It's kind of neat. Much different little setup with this little flip up thing. I don't know how much it actually protects it or anything, but this little RGB and all this, just super neat looking. I just like the aesthetic of it. All right, underneath this, just like everything else, it comes with its own charging cable. Again, USB-C. It seems like everything is going to that, which is great. And like I said, you do have 3 different ear sets you can use to fit to your ears. And it comes with its nice little instruction book right here. All right, like I said, right off, I really like the aesthetic of this case. It is so cool. Like none of the other ones have done this. And again, I'm gonna hope to see what comes across. Everything else has just been a little flip from the top thing. So I really like that. But we're going to charge this up overnight, and then I'm going to use it all day tomorrow, and then on stream the next night. Tonight, we're going to be using our razors to finish off testing for those. And that's going to be how this goes over and over. And then I'll let you know how I like each one in a separate video. And then again, we'll be doing an entire video comparing all 5 sets that I've gotten. So you just have to keep tuning in to see which ones you like the best. All right, so I have tested quite a bit with these ROG CETRA True Wireless Earbuds. I did like how this little thing flipped up here, and it made it to where you can easily get the earbuds in and out, whereas sometimes, like with the, say, the razors I was looking at before, they're kind of hard to get out of the case, which is fine because then they don't pop out if you drop them or anything. But I don't know. I kind of like the aesthetic of this little case like this. But I wanted to pull up my notes here so I can go over all the stuff. I didn't want to mess it up and give you the wrong numbers. So after a week and some change of testing, lots of Helldivers, shooting games, different types of scenarios, running the battery down, this is what I've come up with. I thought that the taps for the commands were fantastic. You didn't have to like slam your finger into it. You didn't have to do a lot of crazy stuff with it. And it was just like a little tap, hold, tap, hold. It was really great at reading that. And I thought it was great and worked fantastically, much better than some of the other stuff I've been testing. I did like the aesthetic, as I explained. There's 2 levels of noise canceling actually on this. That's the thing I really liked. They have the ambient, which is fine. It lets stuff come through. They have the no noise canceling. They have a low noise canceling, and it has a heavy noise canceling. I'll tell you that in some cases that can be a little disorienting. So if it feels like you have extra pressure or whatever, it's weird. It almost like cancels so much noise that it almost makes your head feel like it's in a vacuum. It does an amazing job. I was riding around in my truck, in my diesel, and I will tell you, I barely heard the engine, and that thing is not a quiet truck. So fantastic noise canceling, but can be disorienting for some people. I was fine with it, but I could tell a big difference in low and heavy noise canceling. They do charge wirelessly. This is the only set that I've tested that you can set this down and charge wirelessly, which could be a big bonus for some people. For me, not such a big deal because I'm going to be using these by a PC myself, and having a USB-C charger, pretty much everything charges off that, so it's not a huge thing, but you know, it could be a nice thing to just be able to set these down onto like a little wireless charger that's set up on your desk, and you know, to kind of go from there. Let's go off how long the battery lasts with these. So I got almost 6 hours with no noise canceling at default settings. I didn't set up any of the equalizer stuff. I didn't have game modes on, no lights, no noise canceling, and they lasted about 6 hours, which isn't horrible, but once you start turning on other things, it really starts to drain the battery. I got, with a 15-minute recharge, they were at 57%, which is pretty good for 15 minutes. If you have 6 hours and you're not using noise canceling, you know, you get another 3 hours out of these in 15 minutes. At 30 minutes, the level of recharge, the level was at 77, and it took about 47 minutes inside here, not plugged in, to charge the headphones back to 100%. So not bad on how fast it recharges. And I believe you get at least 2 or 3 charges out of this thing, depending on, it says 4. I got around 3 before the case itself was out of energy. Here's some issues I had with these though. And I'll show you what I mean when we start going over the app for this. These were slightly difficult to pair with my iOS phone. Difficult being that they continually tried to either disconnect, or because I would try to go through the app also wants to connect to the Bluetooth, which is weird. So it has like a double connection to the Bluetooth, and that seemed to be throwing it off. So I think that's more of an app issue than it is anything else. Once I got everything set up, it seemed to work really well with my PC, where I would just open this up and it would just connect to the PC really quickly. And I'm not using the PC software. By the way, these do have PC and a phone app that are separate. So we'll go over both those things later. I think that the phone app itself had some big issues I really didn't like. Once you're in there and it's working, I feel like it's very intuitive and you can get around in it. The biggest thing was how hard it was to actually set up and make it read the headsets. The app itself wants to make its own connection to your mobile phone, which to me is weird because it's already on the mobile phone. So connecting to the phone itself as an app and then also having the headset connected seemed to throw it off a bit. And as a matter of fact, every time I reopened it, so say I shut it down for a while and wanted to go in and make an adjustment to the settings, instead of reconnecting as the actual app that it wanted to make a whole new connection like it had never connected. So at one point, I had 4 instances of the app connected to my Bluetooth area. So you go into Bluetooth and you look it up and see all the things that you can connect to. There was 4 different ones for the app and 1 for the headset, and it became super confusing. So I don't understand why it does that. Maybe it's just an iOS thing, and maybe you're not going to have an issue with Android because I only tested with iOS. But that's something to be kind of aware of. Personally, once you set everything up, the headset tends to keep what it is, so it's not a big deal. And all of the button pushes, you can set gaming mode, noise cancellation, skipping. The only thing you can't set is any type of actual equalizer or noise, like specific music modes. That's the only thing you can't set with just a tap of a button. So I can get around not using the app. And there's also a PC version, so I can actually use it with that instead. But the phone app was just really not great at connecting. When I was using the PC app, I had issues with that too. I've never had great success with Armory Crate, and that's what you use. That's what ASUS uses for their ROG and stuff. They use that Armory Crate. Anytime that I tried to use that and adjust stuff, it tended to mess up a bit. And because the way I have my sound systems all set up through the Elgato Wave, it wanted to be the default or the headset and have all of the noise run through. It seemed like it wanted all the noise to run through Armory Crate, and you can adjust all the volumes and stuff from there. That doesn't work for me. So I ended up just taking Armory Crate back off, again, using the phone app, which also wasn't great, and setting everything one time and then just leaving it at that. And then after that, I had no issues. As soon as I connected them to the computer, they would connect like any other Bluetooth device, and I could use them normally and just control whether gaming mode or noise cancellation was on with taps. So again, it wasn't horrible. Like, it's not a showstopper, but if you're someone that really likes to adjust and play with the equalizers and stuff, it might end up messing you up, especially if you have specific streaming setups for audio and stuff. I use the Elgato Wavelink for all of my audio setup. I know some people use Voice Meter, which is a fantastic free thing as well. And I don't know how it works with Voice Meter, but I know Armory Crate really tried to fight with my Elgato Wavelink audio stuff and just wasn't working out for me. So not the biggest thing. I really did like these headsets, and they worked fantastically once I got them going. It just took a bit of a setup, and there was a learning curve to it. And it might just be that I would have to use them more and more often, but these things were fantastic overall. I want to go over the app and also the PC, and you'll see what I mean when I'm talking about how it has all these issues kind of setting up. All right, so once your headset is hooked up to your phone, all you're going to need to do is download the Armory Crate app from the iTunes store. You're going to open it up. You're going to go to where it says device and click on that. And then it's going to show the headsets. For whatever reason, it acts like it can't see the other earbud, but it works just fine. So I don't know. When you connect to it, it's going to come up with this little thing here, and it's going to ask to connect to your Bluetooth. You hit pair, and then it connects to your Bluetooth. And I will show you, this is literally the second instance of this being connected to my Bluetooth if it works properly. And you can see it takes quite a bit of time. So we're going to go back. I just want to show you that every time you do this, see where it says app RTCW? Guess what? That every time is how many times I've connected. So it shows connected at the top, but it also has another one towards the bottom that it's not using right now. So you're going to have to deal with that mess every single time. Once you go in here, it's actually really neat. You can go to the power settings. It shows you what the power is, which is really nice. You can come to here and set up all of your stuff for English, but it doesn't look like you can remap these. I could be wrong, but it just gives you how it actually works. Whereas, say, like the Razors, you could actually remap how it was set up, which is actually nice. So you've got your playback, and you can kind of up and down that, and you see it actually controls the volume of the device itself. Personally, I normally listen to right about there. So then there's your sound optimization. You can pick if it's flat, FPS, movie, racing, RPG, or customize. Under customize, if you pick that, you can come down here to the equalizer, turn it on. You can set stuff on here as well. But just like anything else, you can customize all of these little settings. So I will say that these felt kind of tinny at first, and I really just went in and started messing with this, set it to FPS. It seemed to have more of a And you can see it changes the equalizer at the bottom. It seemed to have more of like a bass to it. So turn the equalizer off or on, whatever you want. Again, the more things you turn on, the more things that it's going to actually, the more it's going to run stuff down. And then at the very bottom, you can't see it here. There's a little switch for gaming mode. You could turn it on or off. Okay. Gaming mode off or on, gaming mode off. Okay. Not a big deal. It's fairly easy, very simple app. But like I said, it continually wants to be super intrusive into making a brand new Bluetooth connection every single time. I don't know why it does that, but that's what it does. So now I want to go over the PC version of Armory Crate and show you what the differences are there. I think you have a little bit more control over the headsets there. But again, once everything's set up on this, you can kind of turn this back off, probably never reconnect it again for all I know, but I had no issues just doing everything from touching when it comes to having noise cancellation and all that stuff on. But as you can see here, they don't even have noise cancellation on the app. So you're gonna have to do that with button pushes anyways, which is really weird to me. I think the biggest thing that the app does is you can actually change the equalizer and the settings for how the noise or how this sound comes out of the earbuds. All right, so one of the things I automatically don't like about Armory Crate is that it take every single time it says it's installing when I open it up. Really don't like this PC app, but it can be a necessity if you're not going to use the phone app. So just like anything else, what you're going to want to do is grab the devices right here. I already have these paired. You can also see what my motherboard is. So you go in here and it's going to pull this up. It'll want to check for an update. It says a new version is available, which is funny because it says that every single time. So look at that. I said to update and it literally did nothing. So again, do not like this entire setup here. Update center, there's nothing to update. But it said that there was an update. So whatever. Apparently, we're just going to update later because if I try to update now, it doesn't do anything. All right, when it finally comes up, here's where you can do some more adjustments, which I like this slightly better than everything else. You can check firmware updates here, which is really good. You can also go ahead and check your audio here. You can set this as the default playback, which is okay. You can control this volume here with, which if you set this as default, it will control your entire computer, which is also fine if you're into that. You should be able to change this, but those are the only settings there are. It makes it seem like there's a lot more fanciness to this. It actually has a virtual surround sound. So this isn't on the app, the phone app, but I will tell you that this virtual surround sound works really well. So it might actually behoove you to get on here and set up the virtual surround sound and stuff. You can do bass boost, compressor boost, and voice clarity. I turned all of these on. You can change the equalizer here and the reverb to different types of stuff, studio. So like I said, there's a lot more drop downs and a lot more customization you can do with this app. And then you can just set a profile, like set up your own profile and stuff and do everything from here. And I think that it works a lot better. Unfortunately, I always seem to have issues getting this PC to come up. So it seems like in both cases, with the phone and with the PC, that the software that it uses to run and set up these things is, to me, subpar, especially for what you're paying for. And ROG is a fantastic company making great hardware for your computers. So I don't understand why it's so difficult to run these things. But overall, I liked these a lot. I loved the surround sound. I think they had the best surround sound out of all the headsets I've been looking at. And just overall, a great experience once you get past the software and all the setup. They lasted a good amount of time. Unfortunately, once you start putting on gaming mode and stuff, you get maybe 4 hours out of them. 3 hours sometimes, depending on the volume and stuff, because it does depend on what volume that you're using with earbuds on how long they last. So it was kind of disappointing on how long they lasted. I expected a little bit more. I don't use noise cancellation while I'm streaming. I'm already loud enough as it is, so I don't need to cancel out my voice. I need to be able to hear it some. So that gives you a little bit more power. And like I said, it lasts about 4 hours when I was on stream, which is like the max I would have for a stream. But I mean, in all reality, there's sometimes I go over and get into the 5 hour mark, and these just won't last that long with gaming mode on. The gaming mode was fantastic. That really cut down on the latency of delays between what I see and what was working. So overall, I would definitely get these again if I didn't already have something else that I ended up liking out of all the test subjects. These are a great headset. I really like the aesthetic. How long that they did actually last with no noise cancellation stuff at 6 hours is about double what my AirPods last. So obviously that's really good. I didn't have any issues with working out with these. They didn't slip out. There's a couple times I had to readjust them, and I think it's just because I didn't have the right tips. These do come with different tips for you, so you can find the right size for you. And overall, these are just a great headset. It's just, these aren't the ones that I picked. So these are part of the giveaway that we're doing. So if you guys are seeing this within the time of the giveaway in March, you can follow the giveaway link below. I'll also link these below so you can check them out for yourselves. Again, fantastic headset, poor software, great customization once the software works. It's just weird. It's a weird dynamic of having crappy software that somehow actually you can customize these things with that make them sound even better. So I don't understand. ROG, please, God, fix your software. I don't understand it. Anyways, thank you guys very much. Please go to the giveaway if it's still going. It ends March 31st. 2024. So if you're seeing this before then, please go do that giveaway. Get yourself a chance to win a pair of these or the Razer Hammerheads, which we did. Go check out the Razer Hammerhead stuff. Also, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we're going to be doing several other of these reviews. We've got 5 headsets that we're reviewing, and then a culmination of like comparing them all to each other. And it'll help us out if you do those things, and it might help you out in picking what kind of earbuds that you think will work best for you. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time on the House of Jacobs.